What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Dark Souls 3 walkthrough. So this time we are going to warp to Farron Keep. Now on its face, this is a very confusing and somewhat unforgiving area. It is very large and sprawled out, and there is a ton of loot. Now I think I have a pretty reliable path through here. The best way I can think of it is it makes kind of a giant circle, and we start at roughly 6 o'clock, if you think about it as a clock. We're starting at the bottom of the clock, and we're going to move kind of clockwise around this circle and making little detours here and there. But hopefully this will be easy to follow for you guys, or at least easy enough. And we'll go from there. So starting at our bonfire here, we're going to hook around to the left, and there's going to be some slugs on the ground for us to fight next to an item. There are a ton of slugs in this area. I'm probably not going to kill all of them, just because it can be kind of tedious. You get the ragged mask for that. And so also what I'm going to do is I'm going to equip a dagger. If you remember at the end of the last video, we did pick up a dagger, and that's because this has the quick step ability on it. And quick step is going to help you out enormously just in traversing the swamp. And part of why it's so treacherous is because this is a poison swamp. You step in the middle of it, you start accruing that poison buildup, and once that meter gets all the way up, you're going to take poison damage. And there's really nothing you can do about it except just grit your teeth and bear it. So for those of you who know Dark Souls, who know Miyazaki, you know Miyazaki loves himself a good poison swamp. And so here we are. All right, so we got that first item. And then from here, we're just going to proceed kind of straight ahead, following this wall. We're kind of keeping the wall here to our left. And you see over here, we have a Titanite shard. And then we have this little incline path. You see I just took poison. You can try to heal it with moss clumps, but the thing being is that it's an uphill battle. You're going to be constantly healing yourself and constantly getting rid of that poison. You're probably going to run out of moss clumps. So here we have an Estus shard that is incredibly useful. And in fact, I mean, we're so early on, if you just want to warp out and go ahead and use it, be my guest. That's perfectly fine. Here we got Titanite shard on this island. Have a prism stones. And in here next to a slug, we have the stone Parma. Then next to these trees, you see I'm kind of keeping that wall to my left side. We have rotten pine resin. We're going to loop on around. You see we got ourselves our Darkwraiths. So we fought one of these before. They are kind of nasty, but I'm going to wait for him to put a shield up and then kick. And then get... Oh, I missed the crit. That sucks. That's kind of my main thing that I like to do against these guys is to get that crit. By kicking, whoops, and I missed the kick that time. Watch out for that grab attack. And you see they don't stagger very easy at all. But sometimes they are kind of slow and they leave themselves open, so watch them finish the combo. There we go. We get some cracked red eye orbs for that. And so the thing about this place is poison swamp. Yes, there's a lot of really difficult enemies, and we'll get to those in a bit here. And the main thrust of this area is that you have to extinguish 3 flames. And the flames are all on these kind of elevated platforms, and there's, of course, 3 of them throughout this massive swamp. And then that will unlock the next area. But I went a little bit too far. So this island here, the fire on it, you see how it leads to the stairs with the fire? That's our destination. You see I'm just kind of letting the poison run its course. And this is our first encounter with this enemy type. They can be really difficult. There's multiple types. There's some with spears. This one's got kind of a dagger. See, they can get hurt by the fire as well. So I'm going to wait for my opportunity to hit. And you see they do kind of stagger. And these guys are all over the place. This is the spear variety. They can cast poison mist. You see, kind of once you get a leg up on them, they can be relatively manageable. So extinguish the 3 flames. That's what I was just talking about, and open the door to Wolf's blood. So we're gonna talk more about that later, because there's definitely some connection with this area, and perhaps previous games as well. All right, so we've extinguished our first of 3 flames. You see now, these urns in front of this giant stone door are starting to light. And as you might expect, that is our path forward. Okay, so straight ahead, we're gonna have ourselves some rotten pine resin. And then this is the other side. We went up the stairs on this side. Now we're gonna go down the stairs on the other side. And if you look kind of right here, you'll see there's 2 inclined paths. There's an inclined path on the right and on the left. So we're gonna go up these inclined paths, but first, I'm gonna grab this Titanite shard. But now we're in the deep stuff, which is where we want to use our dagger. So if you equip your dagger and 2-hand it and use the special skill, you see that quick step? It helps you navigate through the deep stuff really quickly. So we got purple moss clumps, and now we're kind of cornered, so we'll take this guy out. And the quick step does consume FP, but even when you run out of FP, you can still kind of use it, and it'll still help you move faster than just trying to walk or roll. See, here's rolling, and then here's quick step. Helps you move way more efficiently through this place. Oh, he ran off. All right, so... Oops, I still got the dagger equipped. That's why I was doing such little damage. All right, is he going to come up here? He's going to try to attack me. And succeed. All right, so we're going to go this way. I think I should get closer to... Yeah, here we go. We're back on more solid ground here. Okay, and here's the ramp actually to our next flame, but we're not going to go up the ramp yet. And these guys, they don't have a weapon equipped. These are actually the most dangerous version of the enemy. They try to jump on you, and they have a nasty grab. Like, the grab is the worst. It's literally the worst. So if you're in front of them and they try to grab you, that is an attack of all attacks you want to avoid. So here's our path to the next flame. We're actually not going to go up it quite yet. So here we got another Titanite shard. Actually, I take it back. We are going to go up here. So this is our second of 3 flames. And one thing that's beneficial about going up these stairs is if you look over the edge, make sure we're not around an enemy. If you look over the edge, it kind of gives you a bird's eye view of the place. And you can get a good feel for the lay of the land. All right, so right here we got another purple moss clump. So you can find a good spot. We'll extinguish this flame real quick. We got number 2 lit. And even though we have 2 of the 3 lit, we still have quite a bit left to do. So as we did with the last one, we're going to go straight down. We got some enemies ahead of us, so let's be strategic about it. Lure them over one by one with our bow. And these enemies can drop an item that is required for farming a covenant we're about to find a bit later. Oop, thought I was going to get behind him for a backstab there, but he was still ahead of me. It is a rare drop. And if you're going for 100%, we are going to have to farm it because we have to level up this particular covenant for a spell. It's either a spell or a ring. I can't remember off the top of my head, but you have to farm this covenant to get something that is needed for an achievement. And that is not... They do drop Titanite shards, but that's not what we really want from them. This one blows the poison mist. And if you see, straight ahead of us, we actually have ourselves a bonfire, which is extremely helpful. This bonfire is going to be a big point of reference for us. He is not interested in fighting us at all. And I'm not interested in walking into the poison mist, so I'm just going to shoot him. There we go. That's one way of getting rid of him. There's just 3 there. I'm going to light the bonfire, but I'm not going to rest because I don't quite want to respawn everything. Okay. So straight ahead, actually, right there, that stone door should look familiar. That's our exit. You got 2 of the lit flames there. So we're just missing the 3rd. So if you look behind us, there's an item right there. We're going to pick that up. And I don't want to take fall damage, so I'm going to go this way. And now, we are going to do something... with the poison again. That's fine. We are going to do something a little bit difficult. Not going to lie. So I'm going to throw my alluring skulls on. I told you before, I think it was at the end of the last episode, to pick up some alluring skulls, and they're really going to help. And these enemies are treacherous. Now, they're really bad if you just fight them straight up. But I searched far and wide for the best way to beat these guys because they tend to give me a lot of trouble. And so I searched far and wide for a good way of beating these things, a reliable way. And I think I've found probably the best way to beat them. And that is with alluring skulls, because they are weak to alluring skulls. So there's 3 of them here. We haven't faced them yet, but they're actually all over the place in this area. We just haven't happened to see them yet. But I'm going to lure them over one by one and then throw an alluring skull. And they have a lot of very powerful attacks. So throw that alluring skull, and that where they hit their axe or their hammer into the ground or whatever, and then it spawns these like projectiles, and I was trying to get around him, but I was not doing a good job there. I'm probably going to throw another skull. And they have pretty terrible AoEs, and they just hit hard. But those alluring skulls keep them nice and distracted. So you see how easy he was to kill there? Trying to do that without alluring skulls is kind of a nightmare, not going to lie. So I'm going to lure him all the way back here so it'll be easier to get around him. Be a little bit more room. Throw that alluring skull, get behind him, and you just get free shots. Whereas before, he would be really... Oh, that AoE. It would be really tough to kill. Whoops. I'm whiffing all over the place, and I might die here. Oh, that was about as close as you could possibly... Oh, I don't have my Estus equipped. Oh, that was... I coulda... Yeah, I had those alluring skulls equipped. Dang it. I was doing so good. So we got the black bow of Ferris from that one. And now these guys have respawned. That was such a bad beat right there. I survived his AoE, and then the poison got me. Such is life. And I'm gonna ember up in just a sec here. And I think, I don't know if the other 2 that I've already beat have respawned, but if so, I'm just gonna have to suck it up. That was really unfortunate. Because 2 of them dropped something. And yes, they do all respawn. So here we go. We're just going to have to do it again. My soul's back. Alright, so I'm going to lure one over. You see, there is an item right there that they're kind of sort of guarding there. Alright, throw the alluring skull. Get behind him. Get my right weapon on. You see, I'm actually going to run out of alluring skulls at this rate. Top off my health. Because there are more. I need to limit myself to 1 per. I'm going to go ahead and switch my weapon now. Then throw the alluring skull. There we go, that went well. And for the third one. Get his attention. Switch weapons, bring him back here so I can get behind him relatively easily. Throw that skull. Oh, I'm in front of him. Now he is unbothered. The skull has worn off, but we got the kill. Very nice. We get the Ferris hat. And over here, we get the poison gem. That's what they were guarding. We're going to follow this wall. And got a couple of these guys over here. Going to heal up. These guys can be really dangerous. And again, the ones that don't have a weapon are the most dangerous in my opinion. The one with a spear here. Get the jump on him. Oh, he blocked us. There we go. Now, this is our first clue for where we might be at. Take note of these mushrooms and think of where else have we seen such things if you are a veteran of Dark Souls. So here we get the Sage's Scroll. It's going to help us learn some more spells. We're going to continue in this direction, kind of following the wall here. And you know what this means. We have a white tree. So that means our friend here is going to help us out. So we don't even have to fight the crowd in this instance. We can just let our friend do the work for us and maybe get a couple hits. There we go. Because every time an arrow hits him, he gets knocked down. And kaboom. Very nice. Thank you, sir. We get the Lingering Dragon Crest Ring for that. I remember what that does. A Lingering Dragon Crest Ring extends the length of spell effects. So we're going to want to make sure, of course, to get all this loot around here. Titanite Shard, Young White Branch. We want to pick up all these Young White Branches. Crown of Dusk. Got another Young White Branch. Soul of a Nameless Soldier. Another Ember. Golden Pine Bundle. And another soul item. Very nice. So this one is it a big one? I can't tell. But I don't think it's a big one. No, it's not a big one. Yeah, the big ones without weapons are the hardest ones. And so this brings us back around to our ramp with our bonfire. And the exit. So we've come full circle. There's our bonfire up there. So inside of this building, we got a bunch of slugs. And also inside of this building is an undead bone shard, which is very important to us. So far we picked up an Estus shard, and we're about to get an undead bone shard. I don't fancy dying in here, so I'm going to heal up real quick. Cool. We got our undead bone shard. And something important that I want to point out. So, I mentioned do not join the Rosaria's Fingers Covenant because that will lock you out of Cirrus's questline, which is true. Cirrus gives you a ring and a gesture, which you'll need for trophies. So you do not want to be locked out of her questline. However, if you join Rosaria's Covenant, you can summon Yellowfinger Hazel here on this island and then go and fight the boss with her. And the thing is if you summon Yellowfinger Hazel here, she will give you a gesture. So you might be thinking, well, if you have to join Rosaria's Fingers Covenant for this, but you can't join it for Cirrus's questline, and you need both quests to get trophies, then how do you do this? Well, the answer is you have to do one path in New Game, base New Game, and you have to do the other path in New Game Plus. So in New Game Plus, we're going to be joining the Rosaria's Fingers Covenant. We'll be summoning Yellowfinger Hazel here, and we'll be getting that gesture. But just so you have to know, there's items on the checklist that you're not going to be able to do until New Game Plus, and this is one of those things. So just wanted to get that out of the way. That is something that you're going to have to keep in mind. All right, so we got the undead bone shard. And from here, we're actually just going to go back. So this is actually a good opportunity to head back to Firelink Shrine. We're going to turn in our Estus shard. We're going to turn in our own undead bone shard. We're going to level up. Because for our next kind of run through this place, we're going to start from the beginning again, and we're going to go the opposite way. We're going to go counterclockwise instead of clockwise. Let us burn our undead bone shard. And let's see here. Soul of the Rotten Greatwood. Do we need that for anything trophy-wise? I don't think we do. Right, a Greatwood gets us Hollow Slayer Greatsword or a... Yeah, we don't need either of those. So I'm just going to consume that soul, actually, for extra souls. For the boss souls, if you don't need anything from them for spells or rings related to trophies, then you can just consume it for extra souls, which is what I'm going to do with this one. That's 3,000. That's not too much. Well, whatever. So what I want to do is we're going to level up. I want to see if I can take my faith up to 12. No, not even close. Because the reason why I want to get my faith up to 12 is because we get it to 12. That'll allow us to use the heal miracle. I said earlier that I wasn't planning on using it, but I'm done pretty much with pyromancies for the most part. At least I'm done with fireball for now. So having that heal miracle would be really helpful for this area, especially since you take that poison damage constantly, but I don't think we're going to be able to get all the way up there to level 12. Let's see. Plus, we need to be getting our vitality up so that way we can equip. After the next boss, I'm going to want to equip the Exile Greatsword, so I'll be focusing on vitality for now. So I'm going to need that to be about 21 or 22 to equip the Exile Greatsword.
Farewell.
Okay, let us turn in our Estus shard.
Tis good, tis what needs.
We can also give these sages coal.
Well, well. What's the undead legion doing with a coal such as this? I'd heard one of the crystal sages had sided with Farron's abyss watchers. I suppose it must be true. You should know, this coal is imbued with magic. First one I've ever seen. Hardly a surprise, is it? I've never been one for books or wise men.
This unlocks new infusions. I think, yeah, we have poison, deep, and blessed. I think are new ones.
Prithee, be careful. I don't want to see that.
Nope, did I turn in the Estus shard? I don't think I did. There we go.
Prithee, be careful.
And we also got
Back again, I suppose.
a scroll.
Oh my. This is stupendous. And the undead legion of Farron possesses sorceries. Thank you for upholding. I doubt I ever would have made this discovery. Now, let us unravel the thing.
Who's got more sorceries for sale for us now? Very nice.
Again.
All right, that was a productive excursion back to Firelink. And while I'm here, I'm actually going to buy a couple more alluring skulls since I wasted some from dying to those giant tree things. And purchase the remainder of her stock. Okay, so we're going back to Farron Keep now. And as much as I'd love to say it gets easier, it kind of doesn't. If anything, it maybe gets a little bit harder. And you will see why before too long. So over here, we're going to have some purple moss clumps. Right here is going to be Iron Flesh, a spell. We're going to want this dagger on because we're going to be doing a lot of quick stepping. And here we have our friends, the Basilisks. So as if a poison swamp wasn't bad enough, let's just add curse on top of that, shall we? I actually like that jump attack because it makes it easy to roll through their smoke and get behind them to hit them. I don't like it when they puff up, because when they puff up, they spit it right in front of themselves, and it's much easier to get hit by it, like he just did there. So I'm going to back away, because I need to get rid of this build up here. He's just spamming me with it. So yes, basilisks in large numbers. Bad news. And that's actually exactly what we have here, is basilisks in large numbers, and I almost got myself cursed there. So it's a delicate balance between using quick step to move faster and then having my weapon out to attack the basilisks, because there's a lot of them around here, sadly. Couple more here. Good, he jumps so I can just get behind him. When they jump over you, they overshoot the smoke. And when they puff up, they shoot it right in front of them, and it's harder, much harder to get around. Because see, they walk inside of the cloud, and if you're trying to hit them, then you're just going to take all that curse buildup. I much prefer when they jump over, but when they blow it in front of them, you just got to be a little bit patient there. So before I was keeping the wall to my left side, now I'm keeping it to my right side, because of course we're traveling kind of in that opposite direction. I'm trying to find a spot we can get through. Can I get through here? Yeah, here we go. No? Is it really gonna get me stuck in here? Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. Because I do want that item. There we go. I think this is a soul item. And eventually, if you're embered, you're going to get invaded again by Yellowfinger Hazel. You see there's an item up there. We can't get to that yet. We'll get that later. Yes, eventually we're going to get invaded. And this is the ramp to our third and final flame, but we're not going to do that quite yet. We are going to do the invasion first. Another one of our friends here. And there is the invasion, and she begins her invasion right here on this this rock. And we got a basilisk right here. Are you kidding me? Oh my gosh, this is actually pretty worst case scenario, just about. Really don't want to be fighting in this deep stuff, but kind of left with no choice. Oh, this is awful. Awful, 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 awful. All right, I need to get off. I'm gonna go on these stairs here. I want the basilisk to come up here. I can kill the basilisk real quick. Here we go. Oh, jump back. Okay. Disaster semi-averted. Almost got her. There we go. Very nice. And that's the last time she's going to invade. So yeah, see those items up there? We cannot get to them yet. All right. We're going to keep going. Over here we got more basilisks and some repair powder. Fortunately, we got shallow swamp right here. And ooh, a bunch of basilisks. Ooh, I was taking that build up there. Not good. All right, got a repair powder. So now we're gonna hook. So there's the repair powder. From the repair powder, you want to hook, kind of do a little U-turn to your right, and we'll get inside this little cave. And inside this cave, we have the golden scroll. And inside this chest, we have the antiquated set. All right. Nice little cave here. Wonder who lived here. All right, so you need to make sure I don't lose my bearings here. There's the cave. We're going to loop back around. And there's the ramp to the third flame. Kind of in between the ramp and this structure here, we have another item. I'm just going to quick step. It's all the way around here. It's a miracle I didn't die to those basilisks. All right, so now I'm going to extinguish the third flame. Watch out for this guy. He is one of the weaponless ones. And he will jump on top of you and grab you and do all sorts of horrible things if you're not careful. That's the grab. You do not want to get grabbed. All right, right here we got a pair of homeward bones. Right. Coast clear. Coast is clear. We're going to extinguish the flame. Number 3 of 3. And the door opens. Perfect. All right, so we're going to hook around here for a rusted gold coin. Now we're going to go down the ramp on the other side. You see we got another one of our tree friends here, so we're going to lure him over here. Fight him. Not in the swamp. Okay, throw that alluring skull. And I'm late to switch my weapon. And kind of clumsy trying to get behind him, but hey. Now he's on me again. I'm going to throw another skull. And dead. So yes, those alluring skulls are worth their weight in gold in this place. Got another one over there. I'm actually going to lure him over here. Okay, throw that skull. I like to pan the camera up a little bit so I can see the health bar. All right, very nice. I'm gonna top off that health. Alrighty. I think this is a Titanite shard, is it? Okay. Over here, we're going to have an armor set. This is the Nameless Knight armor. We're going to kind of follow these islands here. You see there's another shiny right there. Could be some more Titanite shards. And some slugs. So over there, there's the slug building where we got the undead bone shard. I mentioned you can summon Yellowfinger Hazel there if you're part of Rosaria's Fingers Covenant. Get these slugs around the ladder. We're not going to go up the ladder just yet. A couple things we want to pick up before we do. Did I get a drop? No. Got the Wolf's Blood Swordgrass. That is the Covenant item that I mentioned earlier that you can farm. That we're going to need to farm if you're going for platinum. And here we got the Sunlight Talisman and some more nifty Estus soup. Okay, so now we're going to go up that ladder. Let's read the description for that swordgrass stuff. Leaf signifying a duty fulfilled by the watchdogs of Farron, who stand beside the old wolf to ensure the serenity of those at rest. Depicts the swordgrass leaf stained with dried blood. Long ago, the swordgrass leaf quietly identified members of the undead legion. In the rotted forest rest their spirits of warriors past. Their acceptance of and gratitude toward their guardians is expressed eloquently by the humble leaf. So we saw mushrooms. There is mention of wolves around here. The crystal lizard. Get a twinkling titanite. And here we have an illusory wall. And inside we have the Dream Chaser's ashes. These are very important. And we have a bonfire. And right here, we can talk to the wolf, join a covenant. We get the Legion Etiquette gesture. All right, so that's the Watchdogs of Farron. A new covenant for us. Ancient medallion depicting the crest of a wolf symbolizes the pact with the old wolf of Farron. Who could that possibly be? Equipped to pledge oneself to the watchdogs of Farron, the watchdogs ensure that the warriors sleep in serenity by taking the form of loyal spirits and hunting down those who would trespass the woods of Farron. Summoning takes place automatically while this is equipped. So, think about it. You know, we have references to a wolf, to the forest, the mushrooms are here, all sorts of stuff. And so the form of loyal spirits and hunting down those. So think about like when you enter in Darkroot Garden in Dark Souls 1, and if you're not part of the Covenant, like you get hunted down, right? That sounds kind of familiar. So if you piece it all together, just as Darkroot Garden is the kind of future version of Ulasil, this is many years in the future version of Darkroot Garden. So kind of crazy to think about the linkage here, and the areas that we're exploring actually are somewhat connected to what we may have done before if you played Dark Souls 1. All right, so we're going to take this as an opportunity to go back to Firelink Shrine, and this is where we're going to end the episode. And there's many more nuggets like that to come as we explore Dark Souls 3, which is very cool. Think about the linkage. And again, just as Dark Souls 2 represented the cyclical nature of linking the fire over and over and over again, this is just proof of further iterations of that. We have these Lords of Cinder that we're chasing down that have linked the fire before us, and all that good stuff. So let us turn in the Dream Chaser's ashes.
Ashen one, what woeful umbral ash is this? This barren dust, stuff of a fool. Where didst thou happen upon the stuff? Oh yes, I see. Clinging to lofty dreams in this dying world. It must come from one most foolish in. Wouldst thou not agree?
Okay, so we can purchase more items here. Most notably, now you can purchase Titanite shards. So you can get just about any weapon you want up to +3, which is very, very nifty indeed. So, pretty much any weapon that you want to try out and use, you'll be able to get up to at least +3. You have to spend some money to get there, but at least you have the option. We also got a new scroll.
Oh, champion, do you wish to hear?
Oh, no. Not for her. Thought it was for her, but it's not for her.
Back again, I suppose.
There we go, the golden scroll.
Oh my. Well, this is very unusual. It's from Ulasil, an ancient land of golden sorcerers.
Again, another reference to Ulasil.
Not even the Dragon School possesses such a long-lost scroll. What would the Xanthus scholars say with their ridiculous headwear? They would simply slaver.
So we got more sorceries available to us now.
Come again.
So very cool how the story connects across the 3 games. I am a huge fan.
Welcome, speak thine hearts.
All right, so
Very
we will
well.
level up. And I'll get that vitality up. I'll probably use a soul item just to bridge the gap to the next level. Need about 3,000. Take these alluring skulls off. I don't need them anymore. Oh, need a little bit more.
Well, very well, then take.
Want to get this up to 21.
Farewell, ashen, may the flame.
Now that we've turned in the Dream Chaser's ashes, I'm looking for Cirrus. You might have to either rest or quit and reload. Okay, let's go and reload. There she is.
Hello again. I have since heard a great deal about you. For one, that you are most gentle of heart. I, too, am bound by duty, but can offer you my sign. I hear that cordial intrusion lays the path to embers. If I can be of help, by all means, blessing of the moon upon your journey.
All right, we get the Dark Moon loyalty gesture from her. And the trigger for that is finding those Dream Chasers ashes that we found just before coming back here.
If you should require assistance, blessing of the moon upon your journey.
All right, and that is all we're going to do for today. We're going to finish up this area next time, and that includes fighting the boss. We'll have ourselves a good time. Appreciate y'all. Hope you've enjoyed. And we'll see you next time. Take care, everybody.